Hey world, it's your girl. So I decided to start making these videos that's gonna say why, like I said at the bottom, why black people shouldn't Plex. Gotta give y'all some good reasons. So I'll give y'all a little story. So when I was younger, I think I was about only like 14. I don't even think I was 15 at the time. I remember. And well, let me say now that I'm kind of thinking about it, that's not what I get, but I was hanging with an older girl, and the older girl had us like in these clubs, so we would where grown people be at. Okay, so just to get at, but so I ended up me and my friends, we ended up like literally some people. Anyway, so um we ended up like going with like a really big Houston rapper for real. We ended at the time. So we ended up like going to their house, right? So we went to one of their houses anyway. So we ended up going to their house. So it was kind of like everybody had their own little picks. It's in like, the dudes had picked who they wanted to deal with or whatever. And so I was chilling. But like when I go on these binges with my homegirls, I know it probably sound crazy, but like I would be doing no fucking. Y'all could ask my homegirls. I be looking around. I be holding like purses and shit. Why everybody doing they do? I know it sounds crazy, but I'm just saying. So I used to be on the scene like, no, I'm the gangster on the scene. Yeah, none of this. So I would be the one on these scenes trying not to go get, okay? So we had a situation where, boom. So I'm with my little friend. He's cool. Actually, another big artist in Houston at the time, right? So we like with these big artists. So I'm chilling with my friend, and I guess the other guys had got everything that they needed out of everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But I guess they had noticed that I had not, right? And I guess they had really like noticed, like, wait, you ain't here. Wait, you ain't nobody hit her. Yeah. So I'm in there, bitch. So I'm chilling in the room with like the dude that just chilling with, right? He ain't pressuring me. He wasn't that type of nigga. He wasn't pressuring me for then we was just in that bitch talking and shit. That's the type of shit I be doing. So when we went in the room, I know for sure I had locked the door to where I was because kind of I didn't, I mean, you never know. So I had locked the door. So we just in there talking, and I remember like two of my homegirls was like in the living room when I left out, and then another one of my homegirls was somewhere else. So next thing you know, like I'm sitting in a room, and boom, the door opens. Mind you, the door was locked. So in my head right now, I'm like, I know I locked the door. So I want to say it was three guys because it was kind of wild. Three guys, if not four guys, walked in. All of them are already big as heck. Like, they're freaking tall as fuck. They known to be doing crazy shit. You know, um, you know, at the time they was literally making songs, about doing all kind of stuff. But I remember one song, there was something about like raping. Like, anyway, I can't say that part of the song because then everybody gonna like, we know who's walking about. Because it's like seriously, and like one of our big major songs that this part is in there. So anyway, I so boom, four guys. I want to say it was four. All I know is they were like big freaking guys. And they probably didn't know that I was young, but I had to look young because I wasn't thick. Like how nowadays some of these girls look like they grown. We didn't look grown like that. I was like 14 years old and I wore a size like 12 in juniors. Like literally, I was still shopping in the kids club section. Period. Let's put it like that. I was still going to the kids section. I wasn't in no junior section, none of that. So I feel like my body looked it like, I know I looked young. So boom, now I'm in the room with like four guys, right? Well, I want to say three, and then one was my friend. So I'm in there, and so needless to say, we had like stayed the night. So we was there like all night. So at one point, the dude had like offered some, I don't know, I don't know, I probably was on some, I need to take a shower, some next day type shit. And so the dude, the major, well, all of them was major, but the one who house we was at, he he had like gave me some shorts and a shirt to put on after I got out the shower. But actually all of us had got shorts and shirt from him, right? So while I'm sitting in a room, I have on his shorts and shirt, right? And so when he came in the room, he's like, and if this is you, boy, I'm so glad we've grown up. But so he came in the room, and they was just like all standing there, and they all looked crazy as hell. For real. Like back then, wasn't all these dreads and stuff going on. So one of them was like short, and his hair was just not growing, but he had them pigtails like all over. And then one dude had these big old fat dread. Like I had never really even seen big fat dreads except from my, like I have grew up around like islanders. But like he only had six big plaits, and back then this was not as normal as now. Now you see it everywhere, but back then, I mean, he was tall, big. He just looked scary, all of them. So the dude come in, and he like, I guess he was kind of looking at my friend like, you know what's about to go down. I ain't even gonna lie. So, oh boy was like, hey, what you need to take off my clothes. So I was like, well, let me go get my clothes real quick. So I'm like trying to go past him and leave out the room. So he like, boom, pushed me back. He like, nah, take my clothes off right now. So I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, let me go get my clothes. You know what I'm saying? He like, no, take your clothes off. So boom. I'm like, what the fuck? So now I'm like, I'm on my period. I'm like, I ain't know what else to do. I'm like, I'm on my period. I can't have sex. You know what I'm saying? So they like, should we on their periods too? We do that. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, oh my god. So now I'm in this situation where I'm about to be raped, right? So just to say, I ain't gonna exactly tell y'all what I had to do to get out this situation, but I had to pull a fucking maneuver. For real, for real. I didn't have to hurt nobody or nothing, but, I just played the period card very, very, very well. Okay? So, at this point, boom, this situation happened. I'm young, I'm everything. Boom, let's fast forward to maybe 15, 20, I don't know, 20 years later, right? Boom. I move into a set of apartments, and I'm doing music, I'm rapping at the time, and boom, I meet these little youngsters, everywhere I go, people kind of um, cling to me or whatever. I don't want to say cling to me, but yeah, my energy is great, so I hope I pass that off, and I don't want them but great energy back. But so I met these babies, because they was babies to me. And they was in their 20s at the time, and it was like a brother and a sister. And I believe it was the brother house, but the sister had kind of moved in, or maybe they was living together. So I'm dealing with them for weeks, going over there. We doing music, we on the music. They had a studio in their house and stuff like that. So boom, come to find out, the babies who house I've been in and been doing this music with was his children. Do you know if people are evil, which I wasn't evil, so I ain't had no ill thoughts about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just pretty much learning. So I'm gonna give it to y'all like that. Why black people shouldn't be plexing. Later on, I ended up like literally with these kids. So if I had any ill or evilness in me, I would have definitely, or let's say had the rate went down. I don't really know, exactly how I would have, mentally been at that time, or who knows what headspace I could have been in at the time. The rape actually didn't go down either, so I don't know. Maybe I wasn't mad or whatever, but the incident did happen. I found myself later on in the future chilling. I'm talking about on a daily basis with this man, grown kids now. So if I would have had any ill intentions or whatever, which people are not like me, so you don't know what you might do today that can fall on your children later. You know what I'm saying? I got another story and I'll give y'all that one later, but yeah. Yeah, I ended up chilling with a kid, a guy that tried to rape me, kids later on in life. And at that point, if I'd have had any evilness or any ill intentions, I could have done anything to them. Now, who'd have known? So, think about plexing black people. Stop. We got to get our shit together. We got to do better than this. I love y'all. Justified up in this.